This is our 1965 Ford Mustang. It's also our first conversion we ever did. We tested all our products in this car. We tested our motor in this car. But this is basically our platform to do everything that Revolt does. So let's break down this car and take a look. Under the hood, we have our flagship product, which is our big block motor. As you can see here, kind of what we wanted to do with that is showcase that EVs don't have to be ugly. It is a jewel. When you open the hood, it's the first thing you see. It has up to 600 horsepower, like I mentioned earlier. It's coupled with a torque transmission, or basically a reduction box that goes to a rear end. It's made by Ford. It's a 9-inch as well, with 357 gears in it right now with a true track posi. So powertrain, super simple. We wanted to keep this car light, nimble, well balanced. So we have batteries up front here underneath this little compartment. We have batteries underneath the driver and passenger seats and throughout the rest of the vehicle. These cars inherently handled terribly when they were brand new. I had one in high school, almost killed myself a few times, mostly because the weight balance is really bad on them. We're back to a 50-50 now, so on the track it performs well. In corners, it's beautiful. So once again, we're able to take an older vehicle and make it better, not just with the chassis components, but also with all the little engineering and how we place batteries and weight distribution. I think it's a big deal. Everything's electronic. We have electronic brakes on this car. We also have power assist electronically on the steering for the rack as well. So everything here is made to make it more updated and drivable for today's everyday driver. A lot of people ask us what's going on with the catch cans for cooling. Well, we still make heat, not as much as an ICE engine, but we still make some heat. So we have our battery cooling, and then we have our motor cooling. Those are two separate systems in this car, so we do keep them at different temperatures. Went ahead and put some billet hinges on this thing from the Ring Brothers. I love billet. I think it looks really good on this particular vehicle, and we like to showcase a lot of that stuff. This hood was custom made by buddy Kent Ritchie's. It is carbon fiber. I wanted to bring in the hood scoops that were like in a 1967 Ford Mustang. Hung down about an inch, but since we don't have an engine in this car, I figured we'd go about 12, 13 inches deep. So when the hood is closed, this car looks absolutely amazing. Really draws your eye in and makes you question what's going on underneath all this fun stuff. So on the front here, you'll see a couple of radiators. One is for the battery system, one is for the motor system, and also we put a condenser in here if we want to add AC to the car later. These are the high voltage wires. We thought they would look kind of cool when the hood is down. You see these orange cables, not something you see on an ICE car very much, and it brings a lot of attention and questions to us. Put a little Revolt logo there for a little bit of bling. We've seen that with Cobras, and kind of Ford does that, so we decided to pop out our logo there as well. Pretty simple. I just got done driving this car. Yes, they make heat, but obviously not that much because my hand's sitting on the radiator, and it feels kind of like warm bath water. Like everything we do here at Revolt Systems, we try to keep things as nice as possible. This car was no exception. We topped it off with some nice HRE wheels. Thank you guys so much for that. They make this car look amazing. When we did our first rendering, this is kind of the style rim that we picked out. And it was really nice to have HRE already have them basically on the shelf. They just have to customize the offsets for us. Had a little fun with the paint too. EV500, thank you Johnny 5. Also, this car did come in a GT500 back in the 60s, so we thought that was a nice little touch. Also, when people pull up next to it and see that badging, they kind of look at you and go, oh, okay, I see what you did there. Are you electric? And the answer is always yes, and that gets the conversation started from there. So everything on this car is custom made. Taillights, license plate cutout. We have these nice diffusers down here. Everyone's like, okay, well, those are pretty neat. What do they do? Well, they actually hold up the batteries inside, and yep, they're metal. They're not plastic. So everything has a reason and a function in this vehicle. We also notched out this little license plate little pocket. A lot of metal work too. There's no Bondo in there. This is the original license plate. So people always ask, why do you call it the dock? Well, PhD wasn't its name. This is not a vanity plate. This car has had this plate on it since 1965. Hot Dog restored that for us. Also did the paint on this car. You see this little signature here. Everything's hand painted. These are hand pinstripes. He has this long brush, did the whole thing, matched with the orange to match the cables. So lots of little details like that that really make this car unique. We made these taillights here in-house. They're also custom. I didn't like the looks and feels of the bigger taillights that the 1965s had, and we want to kind of make that a lower profile. And Hot Dog kind of helped us design that as well. We did that here, put those on there and they look great. Utilize the old gas cap for the charge port. So that's how we charge our batteries. Got little magnets on it, so it's really nice and low profile there, and it works just like it used to. So in the trunk, we have some of our electronic components. We have more battery modules for balance. We have our CCU, which is a combined charging unit. So when the car is plugged into 220, it charges the main pack. Also underneath me is something we get a lot of questions on. Why do we have a 12-volt battery? Well, we still have lights, computers, so on and so forth. So what we need to do is take the 400 volts and bring that down to 12 volts. That's what this does, and it powers the rest of the car. Windshield wipers and all the other fun stuff. We also have our BMSs from AEM and their VCU 200. Kind of a little older model, but we figure if it works, don't fix it. This is the inside of the Mustang. Try to keep it simple in here. We have a center console, basically showing us all the telemetry in the vehicle. We have an iPad. We can put park, neutral, and drive on a touchscreen. Up on the dash right here, we have an AEM CD7. Basically gives us all of our driving information, our speed, our power, our battery, and everything else. Beautiful roll cage again by AVS Fabrication. Wanted to keep this car safe. It is NHRA approved to go on basically any tracks. If we want to drag race or take it to a sanctioned event, we could pass all the tech inspections. This is not a luxury car. It is made for testing and pushing the boundaries. So we want to make sure that the interior kind of match that as well. Don't have much leather in here. Rex helped us with a little bit of upholstery down at the bottom for our feet. Well, other than that, this thing's pretty gutted and made into a race car. Got our Kirkies, got our Simpson 4-point harnesses, set up for racing. What can I say? Kind of bringing us back to what we did as kids. So behind me, we have more batteries. I'm also sitting on 2 of the 16 modules, passenger as well. Going back to our weight and balance. EVs are heavy. They have a lot of batteries. We wanted to make sure we mitigate that and also spread the load out like I talked about earlier. More roll cage, more fun stuff back here. But once again, it's a race car. It's not made to be super pretty. It's made to be functional. So that concludes our little tour of this 1965 EV500 Mustang. Hope you guys know a little bit more about EVs now and how this car was built, what's under the hood, what's under the trunk, what's underneath. You'll see us out at trade shows and probably out on the streets. Let's go for a drive.